Is that a spring cleaning? Is that a spring cleaning?
Yeah.
You look good.
Can't do much with it, but you got to work with the canvas, you know.
All right, well, it is 3:38 and we will call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Jackson Board of Selectmen on May 8th, 2018. Thank you for all coming. We're glad you're all here. And our first order of business is chairman selection. Every year after the annual meeting, we select a new chairperson or re-elect the old one. And this is the first meeting since the annual meeting where we've had all three of us present. So I will entertain a motion for a new chairperson.
Oh, well, I guess I'll nominate Dick Bennett. I guess it would be up for the next regular cycle. If we go back to our regular cycle, I guess.
And I'll second that motion. Anyone have anything to say before I call for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Pass,
There
I
it is,
guess.
Mr.
There
Chairman.
you go.
All right.
Use the gavel wisely and often.
Just before I go on to the approval of the minutes, I want to thank Bob for all his superior work as chairman for quite a long time. And I really think it has helped move the meetings along, and I, for one, truly appreciate it.
Ditto.
Thank you, Richard.
Round of applause.
That out of the way.
All right.
Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes?
I have.
Yep.
Any suggestions on, well, we had one, where's my, the wording on Sarah's request for information on our non-public. She got the meeting minutes, but not the publication. And I don't think that came out clearly in the minutes, but it's still the same. The publication is confidential. You got the minutes of what we talked about.
Excellent.
And so that's the only change is,
I saw no changes. Nothing. Seemed good. You were not.
Yeah, I wasn't here, so I have to abstain from the meeting, but
oh, that's right, you were
for quite a while, I know.
a
Surprised you remember my name,
truant.
actually.
Truant you were.
Oh,
Yes.
just keep it up.
So it's you and I.
Yeah.
I'll second that. In favor?
I
Abstain.
All right, well, I'm gonna sign that and pass it along.
abstain it is. Forgot.
Public comment?
Action items. Three.
No comments?
I think you skipped three there, Dick.
Oh, update on the action items, right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Old library discussion. We're developing our discussion on that. Our next meeting is Tuesday, May 22nd at 3:30. And the next one is on June 12th at 3:30. And the next one after that is June 26th at 3:30, all in this room. Now, public comments. Yes,
Yes, I was told today by the ladies in the office that the Chamber of Commerce took down the wreaths, and I wanted to publicly thank them and thank you guys for getting it taken care of.
I'm sorry, I had trouble hearing.
I was just saying thank you that the wreaths are down, and I thank the Chamber, and I'm thanking you, the Selectmen, for getting it down.
Well, thank you.
That's so funny that came up because I was in Littleton before this and I was on my way through Bethlehem and they've got Christmas banners plastered up all over.
I didn't notice when I was through there.
Yeah,
That's how much
big
I
ones too.
I said, okay.
All right.
So our next item is the building inspector. Sorry. There is no collusion. Just because his name is
Yeah,
Bennett.
there you go, that's right.
Right.
Congratulations on the,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
that hit lead there. Let me see, we got 6 new permits this week. One at 88, the transfer station road, that's the house up there, it's a remodel, lots of interior stuff.
All inside the footprint.
Yeah, on one side, yeah, sounds like there's a bathroom, my kitchen, it just says remodel, but we'll up to it.
And those are the people that have owned that for a while.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. And we have 27 Crossroad, existing workshop converted into a 2-bedroom accessory apartment. And we have 2 Stem Turn Road, constructing 28 by 32 timber frame barn with 1 bedroom accessory apartment on the 2nd floor. And they're also putting a new septic system in. It was supposed to be in last fall, but they ran out of time, so it's going in now. And that's going from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom septic system.
So they're putting in a whole new septic system?
Yes, yep, whole new system. 211 Main Street, vinyl siding the whole entire building. It's a big building. That's the one out there right across from the gas station, the big brown place. That's going to look a lot different.
Yeah.
And then we have the old library, the new library over here, 252 Main Street. They're putting a patio and a pergola out back. And that's going to be all ADA compliant. Went over that with them.
This is just not really directly related to that, but do you know if Roger got a hold of Pat and kind of coordinated? He was hoping to use the...
That's a good question because I've been trying to get
He hasn't mentioned it.
Roger, right? And I guess
Okay.
Roger was volunteering today down in Habitat for Humanity.
Okay,
So
I'm sure they'll
it's
connect.
doing good things.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll catch up with all of us.
Yeah.
And then 28 Dundee Road, remodel interior, and replacing roof and deck. And just an update on the Dana Place. And maybe people can buy there. I guess they're re-roofing up there now. Permit basically just got signed today. We just got the final prints from his architect, which they're stamped. And they actually have dimensions on them now and everything, so which is great because that's what we had a set of plans. They didn't have dimensions, and I'm like, you get some dimensions on it. So he did a nice job on it because it's quite a 12 rooms there or whatever.
So now you do have a document that says what they're going to do. It's not going to get
Yep.
piece and piece and piece.
Right. Yep. And then we also have some stuff from the lumberyard too. Actually engineered. Well, they got materials, but we also have paperwork with the materials, which is great. So it's actually, so everything's engineered from there. Engineer at the lumberyard that they use. So, and everyone's really busy, I know that. That's for sure. Surveyor wise too, because I've been waiting for a couple of questions back from the surveyor. And one of the guys that saw last night, he had to go home after a meeting, he had to go work for another 4 hours to get a plan out for today. So this guy, he said they've never been so busy ever. Not going on.
Pat Kelly came in and asked about somebody's driveway. One proposal went across the stream, and another proposal was down the stream, but I don't know.
Still had to do a stream crossing?
Well, I think they're gonna have to get a permit for
Yeah, well,
that.
that's what I'm saying, I probably remember the services.
But I just wanted to give you the heads up that it may be coming up because they wanted him to write a letter saying to use the stream crossing. And I said, no, he doesn't write that letter. He doesn't give out
Yeah.
any dispensations. So what I want you to be aware of,
Yeah.
it may be coming, and if you need to, you bring it to us.
Okay, yep,
Because
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's
the minute-
just not that simple.
right, the minute you mentioned water, that sounds like the Department of Environmental Services, like a wetlands permit, or they have
Right.
whatever permits they have. Yep, they're on top of that.
Okay,
Thanks for the heads up.
you're welcome. Fair is fair. All right. I think that's good.
All right,
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks,
you.
Kevin.
thanks.
New business, we have trustees of the trust funds, withdrawal request, and a deposit. We have here, Board of Selectmen are requesting the following withdrawals from the trust funds as indicated. $58,673.50 from the Bartlett Jackson Ambulance Capital Reserve Fund. See, we have it attached, which is our 50% share. Is it 50%? Yeah, we're 50/50 on that. So if that's okay with everybody, we'll have.
I believe there's one more, the trustees, if it's okay to read the invoice number and date as well, because they like to have that in the minutes.
This is the transfer station expendable trust for the backhoe, $7,616.83. And again, that's our share, and I think that one is 60/40.
And can you just read the invoice numbers and just so they have it in the minutes for those two items?
Invoice number on the thing.
Yeah. It should
Okay.
be-
Should be on the
invoice-
sheet.
It's right on, it's.
Oh, it's
yes.
on.
Yeah, just read that whole thing.
Invoice for the ambulance is
And who it's got, the vendor.
4709.
Read that exactly as it's written and you're good.
All right. See attached. Sugarloaf Ambulance Rescue Vehicles, dated 5/7/18. Invoice 4709. Caterpillar Finance Services, this is for the transfer station. Caterpillar Financial Services, invoice 18779643. Logged in.
So moved.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? No. I'll smooth it out. You wait and see. Give me some time. We'll get this smoothed out.
It already feels pretty smooth to me.
That's it.
And then we have, please authorize the transfer of $20,000 to be deposited into the Capital Reserve Fund per the warrant article listed below. BJ Ambulance 0070, $20,000.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
And just to add, I think that was from Article 3. Is it from Article, or 4, 3?
Didn't say here. Oh, yes, Article 3, yes, Article 3, yep. Notice the space is getting a little smaller. Notice that?
I can't wait to see the ambulance.
I know I am, so.
I think Rick Murdoch might be a little excited.
That's hard to say.
Now we have for FYI, a wetlands permit. 10716. Oh, it's a water line going under Route 16. Again, it is just FYI for our information. Unless we have, I think, a negative response, we don't do anything.
Is that from the precinct?
Those are, I think the booklet is from DES.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the precinct's water line?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Excellent.
And then, that's the wetlands. Department of Revenue Administration has sent us their evaluation. Let's see, including utilities, it is $398,422,226. And then all the other, and without the utilities, it's, almost $2 million less. 396,000 million. I'll say that. 396 million, those are big numbers. $396,352,626. That's the modified local assessed valuation. That's what our town is worth. DOT. Oh, they're giving us a heads up. There's a flashing light out here on Route 16 that they're going to take out. It's just before the curve, before the covered bridge, going south. And I guess they feel that it's really not effective. So the beacon will be removed.
A lighthouse.
Saw that. I guess it hasn't worked in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Scott Badger has re-upped for the Mount Washington Valley Economic Council. And I think we should approve that.
Thank you. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Excellent.
It's always good to have somebody volunteer. I'm in the same place to. Do we have to sign it?
Just at the very top. The very top.
Oh, submitted.
by.
I'll sign it.
Is that just a one-year term?
It's 2 years.
One or two.
Okay. Well, always appreciate people stepping up for stuff like that. That's great.
It's a lifelong appointment.
We're hoping it is.
Okay. All right, old business, excuse me, old business. Transfer station updates. We have a transfer station meeting after this meeting, so I think we'll try to deal with most of the transfer station issues at that time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, there was a personnel complaint. The logistics of the roll-offs coming in, Storyland, Glen Ellis Campground, how to kind of coordinate all that and deal with the potholes at the bottom going in. I'm sure we'll discuss that. Old library.
So with that, I think we need to figure out, I wasn't at the last meeting, but I was updated on it, and we need to have maybe one of you sit with us to see who's in there right now. I know that yoga's been a big issue. We need to know whether for the time being they're staying, they're not allowed in there. We need someone to let us know, who's allowed in there right now before the new agreement is.
I will sit down with anybody from the, what is that, church committee or whatever it is.
Yeah.
PCH, I think.
Yeah, and discuss it with her and try to hammer out what the parameters are, where the guidelines are, where the limits are.
Okay.
Because as you pointed out, it's all about the insurance. So let's get it cleared up.
Yeah, and it's their insurance, and so.
Some of it's ours.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean the land.
Right.
So it's kind of complicated, and it's probably good that they're taking a greater level of scrutiny in some of these areas. But it's almost like everything we approve as far as old library usage then goes to a second approval through the church. And it just seems like there's a way to make that more efficient. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a great idea for a representative of the board get together, if it's Joyce Allen or somebody else from the church council, sit with Marge, just kind of have a general discussion. I think both short and long term. I mean, we've had some long-term discussions about that building and where we see it, and I'm all in support of
Work things out in the past, so.
yeah.
I think if we, excuse me, hammer out the insurance liabilities, then we'll be a little freer to make decisions on what happens inside the library.
Yeah.
And I think that's what our goal should be,
Yep.
is kind of smooth that out and make it work.
Yep. So are we going to try and schedule something?
Yeah.
Are you the one?
Well, and is it okay for the yoga to continue in there for the time being until it's decided, or are they on hold? I know that's the one that was a big concern.
Right. Well, is the criteria clearly stated so that everybody knows that the use can't be for profit? Because that was the issue.
Way that it was explained was that it's supposed to be, for that particular building, it's supposed to be donations accepted. So I don't know if that...
Well, I would just have to tell the yoga people that that's how it has to be right now.
I think if they want to continue to use it, they've got to take back those flyers that are identifying a specific charge amount on them.
For that
That's
building,
where the concern was. And, I think replacing those flyers with donations accepted meets the criteria that everyone else is under when they use that building.
Okay.
So, I don't know how that, if there's a point of contact that.
Well, is it specifically stated that there's for nonprofits? Is that the issue why they can't? I mean, because
It is.
I can just see them taking the flyers down and say, "Yeah, you can still pay me under the table." I mean,
Well, I mean, that's because they can pay her. I mean, she may say donations accepted, but it can be any amount. If she can't tell them what the amount would be,
Right.
she can accept any amount that people want to provide.
Right, but if it's a commercial
She's
bin.
not charging as a business.
Okay.
She's accepting donations for her.
I think it's a gray,
Yeah,
So when we entered into that agreement with the church, it's a land use agreement.
it is.
And if I remember correctly, it was going to be what, like a 20-year agreement that we revisited after 5 years,
Right.
and that's coming up now. And I think that's what's kind of prompting them to take another look at it. So I think it's obviously going to be important for everybody at that meeting to have a copy of the land use
Yeah.
agreement, and then there's a clear understanding of what the
Yeah,
operational restrictions are, and
and Primex has weighed in on suggested language
Mhm.
to include, to make things a little clearer.
yeah, it's not the longest agreement in the world, but could you print one out and put it in my mailbox
Yep.
too?
Mhm.
Just give me a-
3.
Yeah.
3.
Okay, a discussion, is there anybody from the chamber? Great,
It's the porta potty committee.
yeah. And,
You guys want to come up? Join us at the table?
you speak from there,
Oh,
feel
we can speak,
comfortable, or, you know, but we'd like to be
I have a big
inclusive.
enough mouth.
All right, there we go. We can all speak up,
You got
be
an
heard.
outside voice. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked Kathleen to join because last week apparently there was some confusion on whether we were getting 2 or 3 porta potties for the season. What the initial thought was that the one that was at the parking lot here would be down at the ball field, so the kids, while they're playing, have a facility to use, and then it would go back up there. But then it was mentioned that maybe we should just get a third one. And I've talked to Kathleen about, maybe finding out what her needs are, what we can come up with, what a good solution would be. Do we just need the 2? Do we need more than that? We talked a little bit about the dugout. I know that's still not operational, and how that looks.
Thought the dugout was fixed. Jay Henry was working down there, last year?
There's still a water leak
Why don't they fix it?
because they have to tear up the road. Well, it's the line that goes under the road that's
That's leaking.
causing the trouble. So
Must
I
replace it.
think they had a proposal to do an auger, or I don't know what they call that machine, a mole or something, that doesn't have to, but we'll see what's going to shake out. We're trying.
Well, I think you should use the dugout. That
Okay.
porta potty is cute down
Well,
there.
at
Well,
least,
but it's just as good looking.
at least for the
as
kids,
this.
but now I'd like to, discuss it with the chamber because they have events down on the field that I understand either we keep the porta potty down there or we open up the dugout for,
The ultimate goal would be to have the dugout because a lot of people don't like porta potties. And if they're down there and they're stagnant, people don't even want to go in them. And they'll go up to the snowflake and ask her if they can use her house when we had the porta potty down there.
yeah.
So we will get and help in any way we can with the porta potties if it has to be the porta potty. But for all the events that we do down there, we will be getting a porta potty, or if you wanted us to work with you and share the expenses, we would do it that way as well. But we have to have at least one for the events that we go down there. And again, every time we have a porta potty, people just do not like them. They just don't like the porta potties. In my office, people will drive through, see the porta potty, come back to my office and ask if they can use my office. Which, as long as it's not a lot of people, I can let them do that. But before there was no porta potty, it was a lot of people, and Devaney's septic system has to be taken into consideration.
Right, and I think that the porta potty that was in the parking lot down here was effective.
Mm-hmm.
It looked well with the surround, And, we had some pushback on which way to face it, but, yeah, all right.
Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of this conversation we had a year ago, and we've had ongoing for a while, and the reason was we had people come in here and feel like we needed to put facilities, say, up at the falls, down here. It wasn't fair to businesses, as you say, to strain and stress their septics, and people felt like they were getting a lot of that. And it seemed like with the surround that we built and put around them, that they were really well received. I think we had conversations, everything from up at the falls where the porta potty was, to put a permanent composting toilet up there. We had conversations around utilizing the Whitney Center, and that was the same response that we got, that we would probably get from Devaney or any other business. It's like, you want me to make my bathroom available when I'm not here?
Right.
When it's not manned by me,
Right.
and there's only a matter of time until there's vandalism, and who's going to, be manning these facilities. And so the same concerns were expressed around our building down there, and in addition, that's used for storage. And so how are we going to secure all of the equipment down there, and how are the Bartlett Rec Department going to get access to their equipment, and we'll still have keys. And so a lot of things like that came into the discussion, as well as the septic system there. Is it going to strain that to handle an increased load? And all of those things kind of pointed us towards the most efficient way forward to meet the needs of these tourists that come to town, and would be a couple of porta potties. Let's try it and see how it works. And it was well received up at the falls, and I think people appreciated having this one down here when the village was busy. And so kind of the reason that it's not able to be used right now, even by the Little League, is because of the water line. And until that gets fixed, it's a moot point.
Right.
So in the interim, the last time we had a discussion in a meeting was, well, we really don't need one up here in May. They need one down there in May. We can take this around and we can put it down there, and when the Little League season ends around the middle of June, bring it up here and get it ready for summer usage. Or we weren't set on anything, but we do recognize there's a need down there, especially with the Little League teams. Mm-hmm. And us not having that thing functional with water right now, because potty down there. Does that mean that we want to incur an added expense and have 3 of them every season? I don't know.
How much usage is there for the chamber events down at the ball field?
It's absolutely vital for any event that we do down there.
Sure.
That we have them there.
What's your ratio for Porta Johns down there? You give a crowd
Can we get the
estimate,
pink
and
ones?
it's like 1 for every 40 or something, or something?
I only rented one because they were.
Even for the 4th of July?
The 4th of July, Sue was kind enough to let them use the Snowflake and the Wildcat in the tavern. So we didn't get any for that.
Okay.
But for the other events that we do, we usually do one. And again, they go to the Wildcat when they get ice cream, or to the Snowflake. And but going forward, we'll probably need 2.
So you've never had more than one down there for an event?
Yeah, we did about 10 years ago when we were doing the events 10 years ago. When we had the duck race, we had 2.
Are you investigating fixing that?
Absolutely. And I'll continue to push on it. I have no idea where it stands
Right.
timing-wise right now, but
I know that Pat spoke to Scott Hayes, and they have something in mind, but I think it's, my feeling is it's probably this summer, but I don't know
no.
when that is.
So in the interim, we've got Little League kids down there, and that's first and foremost.
Mm.
I don't know how we feel, and we want to get a porta potty down there and put one of the surrounds down there for it.
Is the,
The little structure is there, I mean, it's already set up there, but the question is, do we want to do
do we
a
want to do
third
a
one?
third
here?
one that would stay up here?
Got it.
I think we, oh, go ahead, sir.
No, it wasn't there.
I like the idea of, having one for the ball field for this thing and bringing it back up here, and then when
Yeah, I
Kathy,
thought this one was effective.
and then when Kathy needs one, she can just order one and bring it
Yeah,
down.
order one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Get one more.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
If we leave the one at the ball field, we should really, it's there now, but we should really talk about citing it
right,
to make it,
user friendly.
it has to be, right, user-friendly, but also the pump truck has to be able to get to it,
Right.
pump it out, they clean it,
Yeah.
so we'll just make it work as well as we can.
So you're saying down there for the league and then back
Yeah,
up to
I
the
agree with that.
library?
I think that's a good idea. If we need more, we can always do more, but I don't think it's gonna be that excessive. I mean, between now and, July 1st.
Right, well,
Yeah.
And we get two for the duck race coming up in May 27th.
Oh, so that one will already, so you'll have 3 down there, because that one will be down there too.
So if you
so
already have one down there, I'll just get one.
Right.
why don't we say then just short of the 4th of July, we'll get this one back in here.
Okay.
We'll leave it the way it is now.
Yeah.
And then the duck race,
The art festival, the pumpkin festival.
all those
So we'll
things,
get all of them for
we
those.
get those.
Is Garland ready to
Yes.
drop them
And we'll
off?
just get
It's already
another
there.
one
It's
for
already
up
there.
here.
We might as well use the same company, so can you just send me a note if we use
Sure.
it?
It would be good, because then if they come in to clean,
Yes.
they're gonna
absolutely.
clean everybody and pump them out and,
Sure.
okay.
Sarah and B, any questions?
At the falls, back to the forestry, at one time they were gonna, how they build the porta potties? The forestry, they're in charge at the falls. Ask them about building one of this.
Forrest?
That's the composting toilet we looked into. It was pretty pricey.
Yeah, but they were gonna do it, the forestry, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
On our land? On the,
Because
oh,
of the Holy River, they have
Holy River.
jurisdiction. They were
Well,
gonna
that
do
would
it.
be,
That would be
Well,
nice.
I'm just a suggestion.
no, that's a great suggestion, and that'd be a good follow-up with the Forest Service
Yeah.
to see if they're truly interested in helping us out with a facility up there at the falls.
Was that a discussion that you guys had previously?
No, when I was on conservation,
Oh, okay.
when they designated the Holy River and all
Well, it's not the Ganges, but it does
that.
have
Well,
some.
at the time, it was the Holy River.
That's a good idea,
It's
though.
kind of cute.
I like that idea.
Yeah. I don't want to see any funeral pyres going down over the falls.
Forest Service contacts.
But yeah, if we could get it, even if they say no, then we have that.
Okay.
So, okay.
That's a good idea. Sarah, you had a question?
No, he answered it in the sense I was just concerned about the cleaning and the location being accessible.
That's part of the
The
fee. And then I just had one other, let's see, Scott's. Oh, and I got, we need a new overhead door at the old highway department. Let's see, the left-hand door fell apart. It crashed. So we got 2 bids, and we have a low bid, and told Jay to go ahead with it.
Okay, great.
Porta potty, public comment.
Oh, no, you just said that the old highway department had to have new overhead. You had bids, but you didn't say what they were. or-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you,
Well,
Steve.
we have one here from Alpha Overhead Door for $6,234. And that is for a 14 by 12,
3 p.m.
sandwich steel, polyurethane insulation, sections. And then we have always accurate garage doors, $3,987.38. We thought we'd go with the lower bid.
Same size door and everything?
Oh, yeah.
14 by 12,
Okay.
New specs.
TS 200, overhead door, 2-section, full vision glass, white, torsion mounted wood, E-seal. Yes,
Thank you.
it's apples to apples. Now, public comment. We've used it up. Yes, sir.
Big thank you to everybody in the office, and obviously you guys for covering me for several months. For those people who didn't know, I had a little conflict with a course that I was scheduled to teach at the time that we changed from Thursday to Tuesday. I made that commitment and unfortunately was unable to get out of that, and thus explaining why I wasn't here. And I deeply
We
apologize
missed
for
you.
that. But I do thank you guys and everybody for helping out and pitching in for that. I did make a lot of stops in the office to keep contact with Julie, since I can't talk to you guys. So we kept up on stuff.
Well, we knew you were still engaged and involved, so I appreciate that.
We heard rumors about you.
Rumors.
And thanks for coming and participating in the focus group.
Yeah, I covered for you too.
Enjoying the pizza.
Okay,
That
well,
was worth it.
One more public comment.
oh,
I just want to thank Julie for helping me stay in contact and keeping the offices working well together. And thank you guys. Thank you. It's
Appreciate
much
it.
easier when
Thank
it
you.
reminds me of things.
and I
Thank
think this is exactly how it should work between the town and the chamber.
you. Me too.
Mm.
Thank you.
And with that,
You know, we have liaisons that interface with different departments and everything. And if you,
We really don't have
want regular selectmen communication, we're happy to make ourselves available for it. I don't know if you have any ideas on how that could look or work or whatever,
Oh,
but
yes,
we'd love to be able to, make that a real regular way that
I think that's a great idea.
yeah, having the dialogue is always helpful. And we
appreciate
know really what's on your mind.
I agree.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
But we're at the end of the
Yeah.
agenda.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
Okay. Wrap it up.
All right, so 5 rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I was
this is
sleeping on
like